Hey, Bastish B here for 64K and welcome to another episode of Modern Vintage. So, if you've never seen this show before, I check out a new modern retro-inspired game on a modern system, and we also have a look at the original. So let's check out today's games. So let's first check out the original. Saboteur 2 The Avenging Angel was released in 1987 for the Commodore 64 and is the sequel to 1985's Saboteur, distributed by Durrell, again with Clive Townsend, the original programmer and designer, back for another round. By the time 1987 rolled around, ninjas were everywhere, literally. A lot of that had to do with Canon Films, the schlock exploiters of ninjas that gave us cheeseball movie gems like Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja, Ninja 3 The Domination, and American Ninja. We had games like The Last Ninja, Ninja Master, Avenger, Way of the Tiger, Ninja, and even ninjas in turtle comic book form. It was crazy, and as a kid in 1987, I gotta say it was glorious. So knowing that there was a sequel to Saboteur, I simply had to get it. As with most video game sequels in the 80s, it's mostly the same game with just a lot of extra little improvements. This time, however, you play the sister of the original ninja out for revenge for a brother's death. At the time, I remember thinking that it was pretty cool that you got to play a female ninja. It was so uncommon to see a female character in games, at least as the heroes. Clive Townsend commented on this in an interview saying, "I wanted something original and it seemed quite different to most other games. It's become acceptable now after Tomb Raider, but at the time it was a bit strange. I mean, why shouldn't ninja characters be female?" The US distributors of Saboteur 2 were having nothing of it, and in that version of the game it has a completely different cover featuring a guy on a motorbike, totally ignoring the European version's female character. However, the game is still exactly the same. And now onto the game itself, which has you infiltrating the mountaintop compound of the guy who killed your brother. Depending on the difficulty setting determines how complex the mission is going to be. Easy settings, for example, have you just killing a bunch of guards and escaping. On the more difficult ones though, stealing the punch tape used in all computers, disarming a missile silo, and even bringing down electric fences and lots more. These are all added, but you can play it however you want. Moves wise, you now got a running flying kick and foot sweeps, and your somersault is way longer, making jumping way less tedious. The guards are also all robots this time, with massive flamethrowers no less, and pumas for extra depth. The music by Rob Hubbard is awesome as always, and is as catchy as hell. Unfortunately, in-game there is nothing, just a few basic sound effects just like the original. Graphics are mostly the same as the original, so they pretty much look like a direct Spectrum port, so you're either gonna love it or hate it. The loading screen though is pretty genius, having the entire map of the compound on screen with every room represented, and it actually gave you a good idea of how to proceed when the game started. Also like the cool way the game starts with you on a hang glider, giving you complete control when to jump off, so starting at a different location is completely up to you, as opposed to the original's boat ride in, which always made you start at the same place. I definitely played the sequel just a little bit more than the original. I liked its slightly faster pace and improved fighting mechanics. If you like the original, it has enough extras in it to make it worth a look. And now let's check out the new game. And now let's look at 2019's new version of Saboteur 2, released on the Nintendo Switch and PC by SimFabric and the original designer Clive Townsend. If you didn't see episode 2 of Modern Vintage, I covered the new and original versions of Saboteur that came out in 2018, and I'll leave a link to it in the end credits. So again, SimFabric have jammed this re-release or redo version with options galore, so you can play it however you like, which I really love. So let's run down at least some of my personal favorite features. So first off, the original mission is here in all its glory to relive, as well as new levels and added story elements. You can choose from a variety of graphic styles from Spectrum, C64, Amstrad, DOS, and Retro, which kinda looks like a 16-bit Amiga look. The in-game music has a bunch of variations of Rob Hubbard's classic tune with different track styles to choose from, like the C64 SID chip, synthwave, metal, and a bunch of other cool ones. They all actually sound really good. There's also other fun new features like achievements to make replaying the missions a lot more interesting. I also like the fact that while you're playing a mission, you can pause it and change out the graphics and music while playing. It makes finding your perfect mix so much easier. Gameplay wise, it's still the same and feels pretty good on the Switch. And like I said for the review of the original new Saboteur release, I don't think as a new gamer you're gonna think this is all that interesting or be blown away. It's much more of a nostalgia trip for gamers that played it originally and want to jump back in, even though I think they did a really good job with this release. Another great thing is that although initially this game looks quick and shallow, there is a ton of content here gameplay wise, and it should keep you playing for hours on end. Overall though, I could only really recommend this to people that want to relive their 80s ninja gaming glory days. And also be aware that Clive and SimFabric are currently working on an all original third part to the series, and I literally can't wait for that to come out. And thanks for joining me, Bastish B at 64K. If you can like and subscribe, that'll be greatly appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.